exactly how you're feeling, mate. The knobheads over at FIFA have done my brain in with all the copyright strikes they've made against me while I've been trying to make this video. Knobheads. Anyways, welcome to the FIFA World Cup, the beautiful game, the pinnacle of human athletic achievement and a glorious celebration of global unity. Yeah, right, it's also a multi-billion-dollar pressure cooker where world-class athletes completely lose their minds, referees forget how to count, and nations nearly start actual wars over a leather ball. And with the 2026 World Cup just around the corner, we're about to witness a whole new wave of global drama. But before the new chaos begins, we need to talk about how unhinged this tournament's history actually is. If you think the World Cup is just about beautiful goals and majestic tiki-taka, you've been watching a completely different sport, because underneath all the corporate branding lies a rich, chaotic legacy of unpunished assaults, political mutinies and absolute shameless cheating. We've crunched the numbers, dug through the most scandalous headlines in sporting history and ranked them by pure, unadulterated public outrage. From pitchside bathroom breaks to theological handballs, these are the most outrageous moments in World Cup history. Let's count them down, starting with a man who simply couldn't wait for half time. In 1990, England legend Gary Lineker gave a whole new meaning to leaving it all on the pitch. Suffering from a stomach bug against Ireland, Gary decided the centre circle was the perfect place to relieve himself. On live television, he literally dragged his arse across the grass like an unhousebroken golden retriever trying to look casual. He later admitted he could smell himself for the rest of the game, which is one way of keeping defenders from marking you closely. It all worked out well for Saipan Lineker, who got his own range of crisps. Cheese and bunion flavour, anyone? The 1994 World Cup opened with a massive pop concert featuring global superstar Diana Ross. The grand finale, she had to run the length of the pitch, pick up a soccer ball and kick it into a massive pop-up goal structure as an official kick-off. She ran, she picked up the ball, she took the kick and she shanked it wide. A global superstar at the height of her powers missed a penalty kick that was roughly as large as a small airplane hangar. It was mortifying. What made it worse was the goal structure was already rigged to collapse to simulate the game-winning moment, and it all fell down as if she had scored. Perfect. A multi-million-dollar event opening with a global icon publicly revealing she has zero physical coordination, followed by a rigged explosion that could only be served to highlight the entire farce. The most American World Cup opening ceremony ever. Picture this, Brazil is about to take a dangerous free kick. The referee blows his whistle and Zaire defender Mwepu Alunga breaks from the wall, sprints at the ball and absolutely laces it downfield. For decades the world laughed at him thinking he just didn't know how football worked. But the dark truth was Zaire's brutal dictator had threatened to kill the team if they lost 4-0. So Alunga wasn't confused. He was actively trying to waste time and stay alive, which makes it the only time a yellow card for time wasting was technically a successful life insurance policy. In 1978, Brazil took a corner kick in the final seconds against Sweden. The ball flies through the air, Zico heads it directly into the net and Brazil wins. Except they didn't, because Welsh referee Clive Thomas blew the final whistle while the ball was literally mid-air. He looked up at his watch and decided time was up. Physics be damned. Brazil were utterly furious. The goal didn't count and the game ended in a draw. You have to admire the level of petty. The man ran the pitch like a strict dentist who will cancel your appointment if you're 6 seconds late. Graham Poll was England's top referee in 2006 until he completely forgot how numbers worked. During Croatia versus Australia, he gave Croatian defender Josip Simunic a yellow card, then a second yellow card, and just walked away. No red card. Simunic just stood there like, sweet, I guess I'm invisible. He played for 3 more minutes until he fouled someone else, and Poll finally gave him a third yellow. Poll's international refereeing career was instantly over, but come on, he's an absolute legend. The man was operating on a completely different mathematical system where 2 doesn't exist, but 3 is the magic number. Portugal versus the Netherlands in 2006 wasn't a football match, it was a low-budget Gladiator sequel. The referee handed out a record-shattering 16 yellow cards and 4 red cards. It was beautiful. Players were getting headbutted, shins were getting snapped, and by the end, the ejected players from both teams were just sitting together on the sidelines chatting. It looked like a waiting room at an urgent care clinic. Truly a heartwarming display of sportsmanship. Nothing brings opposing nations together quite like a shared passion for mutual assault. In 2010, Frank Lampard launched a rocket against Germany. The ball hit the crossbar, bounced a full yard past the goal line and spun out. Everyone on earth saw it was a goal. Everyone except the referee and the linesman, who apparently chose the exact millisecond to blink in unison. The play continued, England collapsed and the British media lost their minds. The blunder was so massive it forced FIFA to finally introduce goal line technology. So congratulations to England for being so historically unlucky they forced a multi-billion-dollar federation to discover the concept of cameras. France scored a perfectly legitimate goal against Kuwait in 1982, but the Kuwaiti players claimed they heard a whistle from the crowd and stopped playing. Enter the Prince of Kuwait, who was also the head of their football association. The man literally walked out of the VIP box, marched onto the pitch in his traditional robes and ordered his team to leave. He bullied the referee so intensely that the ref actually overturned the goal just to get him to leave. It completely ruined the integrity of the World Cup. But honestly, if you can't use your absolute monarchy to fix a sports match, what is the point of even having a crown? The rivalry between the Netherlands and Germany is always tense, but Frank Rijkaard took it to a disgusting new level in 1990 when he tackled Rudi Völler, got a yellow card and then spat a massive glob of phlegm directly into Völler's perm. And the referee, using peak logic, sent both players off. As they walked down the tunnel, Rijkaard did it again. The German media treated it like it was a chemical warfare attack. Say what you want about unsportsmanlike behaviour, but aiming that perfectly into a moving 1990s mullet takes a level of precision they just don't teach in academies. In 2002, Republic of Ireland captain Roy Keane arrived at their training camp in Saipan, saw the pitch was too hard, the balls hadn't arrived and the Irish FA had flown first class while the players sat in economy. So, naturally, he called a team meeting and told Mick McCarthy exactly where he could shove the World Cup, using words that would make a sailor blush before packing his bags and leaving. It literally divided the entire population of Ireland into two warring political factions for months. Imagine quitting the biggest tournament on earth because the training cones weren't up to your aesthetic standards. Absolute king behaviour. In the 120th minute of the 2010 quarter-final, Ghana were about to score an historic winner, but Uruguay's Luis Suarez decided he was a volleyball player and punched the ball off the line with both hands. He got a red card, but Ghana missed the penalty, and Suarez was seen celebrating like a maniac in the tunnel. Uruguay went through, and Africa wept. To Ghana, he's a cheating demon. To Uruguay, he's a national saint. It just goes to show cheating is entirely acceptable as long as you're wearing the correct colour shirts. The 2010 World Cup final, Spain versus the Netherlands. It was a high-stakes, brutal match. In the 28th minute, Dutchman Nigel de Jong charged at Spanish midfielder Xavi Alonso, and instead of going for the ball, absolutely laces Alonso directly in the chest with a high-flying karate kick, leaving stud marks on his sternum and putting him in a coma for a few seconds. The referee saw it, the entire stadium saw it, the planet saw it, and the ref only gave him a yellow card. You can't make this up. A man gets drop kicked in the heart by a professional athlete with enough power to register on a seismic scale, and the official essentially rules it a mildly enthusiastic chest bump. In 1998, a 23-year-old David Beckham was fouled by Argentina's Diego Simeone. Lying on the ground, Beckham pettily flicked his leg out and tapped Simeone's calf. Simeone dropped like he'd been hit by a sniper. Red card. England gets knocked out on penalties, and the British tabloids turn Beckham into public enemy number one. People hung effigies of him outside pubs. It took him years of world-class performances to win the country back. All that national hatred over a gentle leg tap that somehow managed to trigger a near-fatal medical emergency for Diego Simeone. The French team at the 2010 World Cup didn't just lose, they staged a full labour union strike. After Nicolas Anelka was sent home for insulting the coach, the entire squad mutinied. They pulled up at training, refused to get off the team bus, closed the curtains and forced the manager to read out their angry letter to the media like a hostage negotiator. The French public was so embarrassed the government had to get involved. There's nothing more stereotypically French than refusing to do your multi-million-dollar job because you're having an emotional crisis on a bus. The 2002 match between co-hosts South Korea and Italy is widely regarded as the most rigged game in history. Referee Brian Moreno disallowed a perfectly legal Italian goal. He gave Francesco Totti a red card for diving when he was clearly fouled and ignored blatant Korean karate kicks. Italy was eliminated and the country collectively boycotted Korean cars. Marino was later suspended in his home country, and a few years later he was arrested at an airport with 6 kilograms of illicit substances hidden in his undercrackers. Honestly, smuggling that much contraband through security requires way better judgment than anything he showed on that pitch. Diego Maradona's 1994 World Cup lasted exactly 2 games. After scoring a brilliant goal against Greece, he ran straight to a pitchside camera staring into the lens with pupils the size of dinner plates, screaming like a madman. It was less of a celebration and more of a cry for medical intervention. Unsurprisingly, he failed a drug test for ephedrine days later and was expelled from the tournament. A tragic and chaotic end to a World Cup legend. You've got to admire the confidence though. Failing a drug test is one thing, but doing it while looking like a madman who just consumed an entire chemical plant on live television is next level. The 2006 World Cup final, Zinedine Zidane, the greatest player of his generation, is playing the final match of his legendary career. The game is into extra time. Suddenly, Zidane turns round and drives his forehead directly into Marco Materazzi's chest. Boom! Down goes the Italian. The referee pulls out a red card and Zidane walks past the World Cup trophy into early retirement. It turned out Materazzi had insulted Zidane's sister, prompting the ultimate French response. Sure, France lost the World Cup, but Zidane proved that protecting your family's honour is way more important than a silly little gold trophy. Luis Suarez makes his second appearance on our list because apparently football pitches make him incredibly hungry. In 2014, he walked up to Italian defender Giorgio Chiellini and straight up bit his shoulder. The best part was Suarez immediately falling to the ground holding his own teeth, pretending he was a victim of a rogue shoulder assault. FIFA didn't buy it and banned him from football for 4 months. It's just impressive that he managed to do this for a third time in his career. At that point, FIFA shouldn't have given him a red card, they should have just given him a cone collar. In 1982, French player Patrick Battiston was sprinting toward a loose ball. West German goalkeeper Toni Schumacher sprinted out, completely ignored the ball, launched his entire body into the air and hip-checked Battiston directly in the face. Battiston was knocked out cold, lost 3 teeth, broke his ribs and went into a coma. Meanwhile, Schumacher just stood around looking bored, waiting to take his goal kick. The referee didn't even call a foul. It caused an actual diplomatic crisis between France and Germany. Nothing says international peace and unity through sports like an unpunished airborne assault that almost results in manslaughter. In 1982, West Germany and Austria realised that if Germany won their final group game exactly 1-0, both teams would advance to the next round and Algeria would be knocked out. Germany scored in the 10th minute, and for the remaining 80 minutes, both teams literally stopped running. They just passed the ball back and forth in a gentle circle while the crowd screamed in disgust. Even the commentators told people to turn off their TVs. It was so bad, it forced FIFA to change the rules so final group games are played simultaneously. It was completely shameless fraud, but hey, why exert yourself running around a hot pitch when you can just stage a 90-minute mutual walking tour? The Republic of Ireland were playing Mexico in 1994. The Irish were desperate to get their legendary striker, John Aldridge, onto the pitch as a substitute, but the fourth official wasn't clearing the paperwork. Aldridge completely loses his mind. He was absolutely incandescent with rage on live global television, screaming directly into the face of a FIFA official using every unprincipled word in the English language. Manager Jack Charlton was also apoplectic with rage at the official in the yellow hat, but just imagine being a fly on the wall when poor Jack found out he'd also been fined £10,000 and given a 1-match touchline ban for his trouble. Ouch. During a crucial 1989 World Cup qualifier, a firework was thrown from the Brazilian crowd and landed near Chilean goalkeeper Roberto Rojas. Rojas collapsed bleeding profusely from his head, and the match was abandoned. Chile thought they were getting a free pass to the World Cup, but then a photographer zoomed in photos revealed the firework didn't even touch him. Rojas had a hidden razor blade in his glove and slashed his own head. He was banned for life, and Chile was banned from the 1994 tournament. Imagine cutting your own face open with a tiny razor blade on global television just to avoid playing against Brazil. This is truly elite level of commitment to the script. The most controversial, scandalous and legendary moment in sports history. In 1986, right after the Falklands War, Argentina played England. Diego Maradona jumped for a high ball against the keeper and punched it right into the net with his fist. The referee missed it, the goal stood, and Maradona later smugly called it the Hand of God. He scored the greatest goal in history 5 minutes later, but nobody cared because he literally cheated his way past England. It remains the ultimate World Cup headline. You have to love the audacity of blaming a blatant handball on the almighty creator of the universe. Peak Maradona. In 1994, the World Cup took a chilling, tragic turn. Colombian defender Andres Escobar scored an accidental own goal, contributing to his team's unexpected early exit. He returned home to Medellin, where he was shot and killed outside a bar. It was an utterly horrific act, reportedly carried out on the orders of a furious drug cartel leader who had lost millions on World Cup bets. The event sent shockwaves around the planet and forever changed the relationship between football and organised crime in Colombia. Truly heartbreaking, a stark and brutal reminder that according to some people with access to high-powered firearms, a simple mistake in a game is a capital offence. And that was the most outrageous World Cup moments ever. I'm gonna be honest, I'm never doing a World Cup video for the channel ever again. FIFA have copyrighted almost every single bit of footage, and I've had to re-edit and re-upload this video over 100 times. I kid you not. It's just not worth the time or the effort. So, fuck you FIFA, you are complete bellends. Anyway, which of these World Cup moments do you think was the most outrageous? Did I miss any off? As always, let me know in the comments, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave John to sing you out. See ya. No, not that John. This John.
You got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to...
videos and I am